Hi and welcome to another video of me, Fettouhi. This here is the sixth or fifth vlog or whatever. This next vlog here, and we're still gonna talk a little bit about the upgrade of Windows 10. So, I ran into, well, let's first start off with a little recap. Well, we did Windows 8.1 upgrade to Windows 10. Everything worked well. I had some quirks with activation, which I talked about, I think I talked about in the last video. And the problem was that, well, the activation, well, if you look at the activation actually, it's activated now, and it was overflowing. There were some quirks with the server not responding correctly, actually saying that the error message was blank and nobody actually had said anything. Microsoft didn't announce anything. Also, the way that I upgraded was from a media creation tool through a USB. And I don't have USB with me, it doesn't really matter, but the media creation tool is legit. You can use it, it works, and Microsoft's Gabe, I can't remember his name, Gabe something, actually emailed out this morning, for me at least, probably late evening for you guys, some of the Q&As, frequently asked questions that have been asked, and it was a legit way. It was because all other pages, official Microsoft page, said the only way you can get it was through the get Windows 10 app, which you had to have down the corner. Well, a lot of people were saying, well, we don't want to do that. So the next thing on the agenda for many people is that they do not, and I repeat, do not want to do an upgrade, want to do a clean install. Well, first off, the problem with that is that the upgrade is the only thing you're getting. If you do a clean install with the media creation tool, which you can, if you make the USB, you can actually just boot up from the USB and install from that. The problem is you will not have a legit CD key or a serial key, or whatever you call it, because it will not accept anything else than a Windows 10 key, and you don't have that. I don't have that. The only way you can get that is paying $199 to get the official retail version of Windows 10. Or maybe be lucky that, I know some of the active preview petitions, people actually are, there's lottery, somebody is getting some keys, from what my knowledge is. I don't know who, probably the most active ones and most bug reported probably. And I think that's fine. I think it's a good cause and a good way to actually promote the stuff. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about how you actually still can do a clean installation without the hassle of having to go out and buy this here, because you can do it. I actually did a clean installation right now. I didn't have, and I did this because I had issues. I couldn't make the media that I want to. I'm going to show you how to make it. So let's switch over to the monitor here. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about recovery. And I know it's late and I'm probably gonna be really tired tomorrow, but it doesn't matter. Okay, let's talk a little bit about our recovery options. So if you have cleaned your hard drive, there will be no recovery for the old operating system here. You might still have the Windows old here. That is because there might be updates or drivers that it needs actually to. You can just do a clean. If you have drivers in this folder here, you might not be able to, even though after you do a clean, and when I talk clean, and I showed you guys this last time, a clean disk, when you do this here, you should be able to get to clean all, it will delete all the stuff itself. As you can see, let's give it a sec. Come on. It will actually remove this partition here. Template installation 5, previous installation. Yeah, you can see there's a couple of things. It will clean it up. Well, if there is files that it uses, like for instance driver files, it will clean it, but it will not remove the folder, and you might see it even after you clean it. The only way to remove that is actually removing it outside the operation system, because you cannot go ahead and use delete on this here, because it will say access denied, because there is a service or somebody or an account is using it. That's because it's drivers and or other stuff. So what you will have to do is you will have to use this here sucker here. This is a really good one. Restart, and I'm not going to do it right now because then my recording is going to fuck up. And then you will choose reboot into a command prompt. It's actually Windows installation environment, and it's actually outside the environment. And through that, you can do a command saying RD to remove, silent, and don't ask me quiet, and just do. And remember, when you boot up this environment here, the drive letter could change, so you need to make sure that the drive letter is correct. But for instance, my drive letter was D, so D Windows.old. Hit enter, and it will remove it totally. So next thing you do is you do a reboot or exit. It will restart, or it will ask you to restart. Or give you some choices you can do: restart, reboot into the system, and through that you will be able to not see the folder if it's annoying you, and it probably will, because it does, for instance, me. Anyways, make sure all the drivers still work after that. There can be some hiccups here. So what was the problem with why I did a reinstall? Because I didn't have any issues so far as operation systems. It was pretty much cosmetically, because I could not make the USB drive that is needed if, for instance, a hard drive failure occurs, or for instance, I put in some new stuff and I need to wipe the system clean without actually having a disk. You can do a wipe here, actually. If you do this here, and sorry about that, if you do this here, it actually formats the drive and installs everything, and it's pretty much clean. So you can actually do this without actually a media, and this is what I've done, and that fixed my problem. So to make a drive, it's called create a recovery drive, and when we go ahead here, you can create a recovery drive. You can use you need a USB drive larger than, I think, 4 gigs. I think 8 gigs is a good size. This here is a 16 gig I'm going to use. So back up your System 5 recovery drive. You need this here. Click next, and this is where mine failed. After that, it says it couldn't, an error occurred, something happened, and I couldn't figure out what. Nobody actually had an answer. Nobody actually said there, but this here works now, because it's actually going to look in just a sec for the drive, and through that it will format and actually make that recovery drive. You cannot do actually like in the old days here. You cannot, and it says at least 8 gigs. So make sure you got an 8 gig. Make sure it's a decent speed. You cannot actually, and also read this here. It will clean the drive. There's something on my drive, but it's just the old recovery thing. So now it's actually going to do the gonna preparing the drive and all that, and through this here I can reinstall my system. So this here is the best way for people to get a free OS and still be able to do all the things you want. If you want to do the clean drive installation, do this. If you want to wipe everything, you're not trusting your operation system, this is the way to go. If you have quirks with the system, like I did, and you can't make this drive, do the reset. It works. It works pretty well, and it will reboot. It will ask you some questions. It will pretty much go through the cycle as you just did. It will, and I repeat, it will hang like a mother on 99%. It can hang up to an hour or more depending on how fast your system is. I did that actually on my laptop here this morning here because it was I wanted to test the system out, and that's why I tried it out on my desktop to wipe the system because I had this issue here. And it took like 2 to 3 hours on this laptop. This is a slow laptop, it doesn't have a solid state drive. So remember, depending on your system, let it wait. It will stop at 50% or 40 or 50%, then it will bump up and then stay at 99%. And I know it's frustrating, but trust me, you're not the only one out there. Can Google stuck at 99% Windows 10, and you will see a lot of people saying, and people say, wait, let it do it before you go to bed, and let it stay all night if you want to do this. But this recovery drive is pretty much guaranteed to help you guys out instead of going out and buying this here. And you can still listen. This here is, I got a legit confirmation from Microsoft that this here is the way to actually reinstall Windows 10 without having to pretty much install the old operation and upgrade. That's the way to do it, guys, and I hope you liked this video. I hope you liked the information. Please subscribe, dislike, or leave a comment, and follow me on Twitter. I am at Fettouhi. So sleep tight. I'm definitely gonna do it. Bye bye.